Hey everyone, how you doing? John back here with another video. We have released Material Manager version 3. It's been a long time coming, but there's lots of features I've been working on and I've been making sure it all works perfectly. It's a huge upgrade and probably the biggest upgrade ever since the launch of the Material Manager. I'm excited to show you these new features today in this video. If you take a look at the top now, we now have this new toolbar with a few new things in it. So what you can do is you can actually go to what's been assigned, unassigned, or referenced in your scene. So it's basically like a quick filter to see your materials that aren't assigned, and you can just delete them or assign them if you need to assign them. Also, I know this isn't for everyone, so what I've done is I've actually created a whole settings tab, and you can actually turn this off so it's back to its clean default self like it was before. But I like that, so I'm going to keep that on. Also, there's been an update to the context menu. When you right click, you now have icons on the left, which is a nice little improvement. So if we go in here now, you can see you have icons for all of the different actions. Also, this changes color to let you know you're going to delete something, which is quite nice. If we have a look at the settings and what options you have, you can now toggle on if you want to see the default materials or not. If I turn that on, you can see a few more appear. I like that off. You can turn on show reference materials, so it'll actually show it in the default views, not only in referenced. I like to have that off. You can mute reference materials if you have that on, so you can actually distinguish them inside of the view. And I've also put on default lock rename for reference materials or namespace materials, so you can tweak with that however you like it set. I'm just going to insert this in as well from the future. This is about the grouping. I've added this in after I filmed the video, but you know when you right click and you have all the tags of different colors, this is one of my favorite features. You can actually now in the settings edit what colored features you have. So if you want to add a new one, add it, name it, whatever. I'll put test 2. Pick color. You can have this whole new color picker here. Maybe I'll pick that color, or you can put like a hex code in down there, adjust it whatever way you want. And if we save that and go back, you can now see on the groups you have a new color to use. Also, I've added a configuration folder button. So when you click on this, this is actually all the configurations that you set up in the Material Manager. If you want, you can share this with other people so they have the same configuration as you. So if you wanted everyone to have the same colored groups, or if you want everyone to have the same color space kind of settings in here, you can do that and share the same ones across the team. Back to the main video. Also, there's this really amazing tool I've incorporated called a color space checker. Now, this is something I personally had issues with before. When I do a render, right, you might not notice anything's wrong and it'll come out like this. Sometimes you won't notice it, sometimes you might. If you have a large scene, it's quite tricky, like you have little bits everywhere. What it does, if I launch it and we take a look at this picture, you might think that's fine. Actually, what you can see is the color space on the normals and the roughness are actually wrong. I've purposely set that wrong to show you this as an example. But what this does, if I untick this, you can see it basically loads all of the images, the texture node names and the file names in this little view. And what it does is it basically looks for something called roughness, normal, height, metallic, and that'll basically mean instead of it being sRGB, you want it raw. So you can put in whatever values you want in there, maybe with AO, or maybe you want something else like R for roughness. You can set it all up in here as much as you want and save it. So it's a little configuration file saved for you. Same with raw files. If you want things to be set to sRGB instead of raw for EXR files, you can set that there. So this basically makes sure you have things in the correct color space, because when you import everything, it goes to sRGB. And I noticed a lot of times when working with people, they don't set the correct color space. So this will check it all for you. If you want to fix these, you can actually fix them just by toggling this in here. So I can set that to raw and I can set that to raw, and you can see it says all good. Or if you have a lot of them and you don't want to click through all of them, you can just fix all warnings and it will fix them. Once they're fixed, you will notice the renders are better. So this is an example with it fixed with the correct color space, and this is it with the incorrect color space. So you can imagine if you have a massive scene, lots of different files and assets, maybe you're working with several other people, this can actually be a great tool to have to see if the texture sets are all set correctly. And it's nice because I've added in this little small drop down here, so it's out of the way, and we can add more tools over time in there which are going to be helpful for managing materials. I've also rewrote the back end so it's a lot more efficient and optimized. When you edited materials before, for example this AI crate, if I put in something like test, it updates right away. And if you update it back to what it was here, you can see it updates right away in the Material Manager. What used to happen before is it would only update when you moved your mouse over, because I coded it to do a refresh when you did that, so it was more efficient. However, I've noticed now in Maya you can actually look out for updates to material changes, which triggers an event in the material manager to update. So it's all working natively, super smooth, and there's no delay between all of it. It's basically really well integrated into Maya right now. There might be a few more things I've done because I've made a bunch of changes, but these are the top features that I've updated that I think are really impressive, and hopefully you like these. You'll be able to find this material manager in the link down below. I'll link my Gumroad. How to install the Material Manager version 3. It's so easy, you cannot mess this up. So when you download the contents of the folder and extract it, you will have something like this, a README and a Material Manager folder. If you want, you can read this and do it manually, or if you're watching this video now, I guess you're going to follow along with how I'm doing it. There is two methods. So there's a recommended one, which I'll show you now, and there's also a manual one if the recommended one doesn't work. But let's go through both. So what you want to do is when you have this folder extracted, you actually want to go to your documents, Maya 2026, which is the version I'm using now, scripts. And in here, I want to copy the Material Manager folder and paste it in here. Now that that's done, what we can do is grab this. Hang on, let me remove this from the previous install. What you want to do is grab this mail file and drag it into Maya. And then what it will do is it will create a new tab called JonsTech and add a new icon there. And if it's done successfully, you'll get a little message saying it's done successfully. You can simply just click that and there you go. It's installed. Super, super easy to do. However, if you have any issues, you can manually install this. The same similar method applies. You want to extract everything into this folder, just like I've done here, but instead of dragging this into here, what you'd want to do instead, so if I delete this a second, what you want to do instead is open the README. There is a little script here, this, which we want to import. So go to the little script editor, create a new Python script, paste it in there. I'll remove the indents. Select it all, middle mouse click, drag, add it to the shelf of your choice. Then there's a bit more manual work. Edit, rename it to Material Manager version 3. Maybe you want a label here or not. If you do that, you can see it creates a little label at the top. And it's nice to have the icon. So if you go to folder, you can add in the icon, which is actually in here. So where we have the file saved. Save shelves, and there you go, that's installed manually. If you run that, it'll work. There you go, nice and easy. If you have any issues, you can feel free to contact me, to send me an email. All of the information is inside the README. Hope that helps. And if you like this, please leave feedback. Please leave a review. Anything like that would help. And I hope you enjoy using this in your projects in the future. Catch you soon in another video.